Hello, my friend. Guess what time it is? It's decluttering time. If you do not know, I am moving. Where's the camera at? Oh, you're way up there. Hi. How are you? It has been a while since I've decluttered my collection, and we're gonna just jump right into the hardest section for me, which is eyeshadow palettes. So what we're gonna be doing today is I'm gonna be going through my entire eyeshadow palette collection, which is pretty substantial, and we are going to put these palettes into three categories. The first one is gonna be the keeps, the second one is going to be to give away either to friends and family or to donate, and then the third one is going to be the trash. And the only way that I'm going to trash something is if it is old and if I don't feel comfortable passing it on. So powder products do last quite a bit longer than non-powder products and cream products, but there are just some that are just so old. Like I'm talking like 5 years old where I just don't feel comfortable passing it on. So those are the ones that are gonna end up going in the trash, which breaks my heart completely. I do have a video that I put out. It's a tag video. I'll go ahead and link it down below where it talks about my overconsumption between, I guess it was like 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago, where I bought just way too much stuff. So I am now paying the price. The environment is paying the price for my poor decisions, but I'm not afraid to show you that because I know I'm not alone in making poor decisions as far as purchasing makeup and buying way too much more than I could ever use. That being said, I do want to mention for, in disclosure reasons that some of this stuff was sent to me in PR. I'm not going to go through each one and say which ones were sent in PR because that's just repetitive over and over again for, well over 100 palettes. I don't want to do that. That's not going to influence my decision at all. It's just going to be based on mostly on whether I need this palette in order to do dupes or if it's something that I really enjoy. So that being said, I'm going to put down here is going to be the ones that I'm going to keep. Over here, this way, is going to be ones that I'm going to pass on to friends and family. And then over there in this corner are going to be ones that I'm going to put in the trash. So are you ready for this? Here we go. I actually really like this palette. I got it off of Haute Look and I really like it a lot, and I haven't used it a whole lot because it's been buried in the rest of my palettes. This one I'm kind of keeping for sentimental reasons. I love these things, these Mega Pro palettes. These I absolutely love, all the Juvia's places. I'm not decluttering any of these. These are all awesome. I'm kind of debating on Natural Love. Ooh. Duping purposes, maybe? I don't know. Oh! I really like this palette a lot. It's kind of a hot mess as far as the design, but the formula is fabulous. Definitely keeping any Mega Pros are being kept, absolutely. This is one of my favorite palettes of all time, the Queen of Hearts palette by Colored Rain. Love that. I used to love this palette when I first started my channel, but it is so old at this point. Unfortunately, it's going this way. This is another one that's really old. This one was well loved though. It was definitely well loved. I got this in a Jeffree Star mystery box, the only Jeffree Star mystery box I've ever gotten. You can see it's not very used, but I do really like this a lot. All right. Oh, okay. This is my Supernatural palette from Hot Topic. If you do not know, I'm a huge Supernatural fan. I hardly use this. It's terrible quality, but I'm keeping it for sentimental reasons. Kat Von D Metal Matte. This was like the holy grail of limited edition palettes. I probably will rarely use this, but I'm going to keep it. Ooh, definitely keeping Manny MUA's Life's a Drag. This is a great palette. This is Flower Beauty. I'm gonna go ahead and give that one away. I used to use this palette so much. This is the Stila Eyes or the Window to the Spirit palette. I know I'm not going to use it, but I feel like a lot of Stila's classic shades are in this, so I'm going to keep this for duping purposes. I really like this palette from Laura Lee Los Angeles. I know that the design of it a lot of people didn't like, but the quality of the shadows is really good. This is the Matte Eye palette. This one was a really good quality palette, but I know I'm not going to use it, and my audience just isn't interested in Kat Von D for some people very obvious reasons, so I'm going to pass that along. This is a classic Too Faced palette. The hype surrounding this palette was real. Here's my second Supernatural Hot Topic palette that's terrible quality, but I'm keeping anyway. These Essence palettes are actually really good. This one is the Ola Rio, and this one is the New York one. They're really good, but I don't need them. And Unzipped Brazen. Okay, Colored Rain. Oh, I haven't played with this in so long, and this color selection, for whatever reason, I don't gravitate to it, but I do really like this formula. I'm gonna keep that. I actually really like this Huda Beauty palette. I haven't used it very much, but I feel like I should keep it. Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Viseart eyeshadows. I think I'm like the only person on the planet that's not a huge fan of Viseart shadows, but I feel like, I don't know. Should I? It's kind of a mess. I really didn't really like the Naked Heat palette that much, but I feel like I kind of need to keep it for duping purposes, so. I feel like nobody's really buying the balm anymore. Their quality shadows is actually really good, but I feel like nobody's really like into the balm. But this is a really good palette. I just don't think I'm going to use it. This is a palette I gave a really hard time in the review, but it's actually very good. I know I'm not going to use it though, so oh, I think I'm going to keep it. I'm going to keep it. That was a hard one. I loved this palette when it came out. Look at the color selection in here. Like this purple, oh my gosh, this purple was like my life. It's got blue glitters in it. I hope someone else comes out with a shadow similar to that. And I love this one too. Like those two together are like my favorite colors ever. I'm Sentimental. I used to use this one a lot when I first bought it, but I haven't used it in a really long time. It's really good quality, but I'm going to pass it on, I think. Or should I keep it for duping? I don't even think this is available anymore. I'm passing it on. This was sent to me by Andy Candy, and it was so kind of him to send it to me. I honestly wasn't the biggest fan of this palette, so I'm going to go ahead and pass it on. I couldn't get into it for some reason. I wasn't digging on it. It made me sad because they seem like really, really nice people over there. Ooh, I love this palette. I think all the Dominique Cosmetics palettes that I've tried have been fabulous. Definitely keeping this. I just noticed there's like a big mush right here. Just ignore that. Okay, Laura Lee Nudie Patootie, definitely keeping that. I love her eyeshadow formula. Okay, Urban Decay Naked 2 Basics. Oh my gosh, this was like my go-to for a while. I don't really need it anymore though. I feel like I don't really need it. I don't think they sell this anymore either. Oh my gosh, great palette here. I have a full review on this one. This one's fabulous. Keeping that one. This one was sent to me by Lorac. This was their, what was this called? Shine Bright. I think this was last year's holiday palette. It's a great palette, but I know I'm not going to use it, so I'm just going to pass it on. These unzipped palettes are so good, but I know I'm not going to use them. Definitely keeping any Lorac Pro stuff, mostly for duping purposes. This was given to me by a friend, the Kylie Cosmetics. This was the Holiday 2016 palette. And it's very nice. I actually really liked it a lot, but I'm going to pass it on. Okay, this is Serenity and Scott. This is an indie brand, and I actually got it signed by Samantha Riley, who doesn't hardly make videos anymore and really should. These are the color selection that she picked out to do a collab with them, and this is a fantastic quality palette, but I know I'm not going to reach for it, even though it really is great, so I'm going to try to pass it along to a good home because it's a fabulous palette. KKW and Mario. This is also a really good palette. I really like this one a lot, but I don't think I'm going to use it. I don't think I'm going to use it. Lunatic Labs. Oh my gosh, this was bought for me by a friend, and it is a great, great palette, but again, I don't think I'm going to use it much. I definitely need to keep anything Too Faced Peach related for duping purposes. I know I'm probably not going to use this a whole lot. It is a great palette. I really like it, but I don't think I'm going to use it much. This is another great palette that I'm going to pass on, the Glamlight Cosmetics. This was sent in PR. Fantastic quality. Really, really well done, but I know I'm not going to reach for it. All right, cheers to the Beauty Colored Rain. No way am I getting rid of this. Love, love, love this palette. It's a little bit more difficult to work with. The shadows are a little bit brighter than I typically wear as far as the colors, but it's a fantastic quality, and I really love this brand. So these are mail holders that I got at like TJ Maxx or a place like that. I've had these behind my desk for years and years and years, and we're gonna go through the palettes that have been in those. This one's been in my background for a while. I'm not sure if you can ever see this in the shot anymore, but this one's usually in my background. This Tarte palette is fabulous. It was very overpriced. I did purchase this. This is the foil finger paints, but the quality of these shadows, these three here, are amazing. These are a little bit weird, but these three are fantastic. Keeping that.
All right, Becca Jaclyn Hill, oh my gosh. How have I not given this enough love? This is actually a fantastic, fantastic palette. When I first got it, I actually used it quite a bit. You can't even tell, but I need to use this more. This is a great palette. Ooh, I think it might be time to let this one go. I haven't used it in a while, and I think I should let it go. This was a Tarte Holiday palette. It looks like this is called Pinup Girl. I don't know how old this is, but it's relatively old, but I think it's something I can pass along. I haven't used this as much as I think that I should have. I think I got this in PR. I'm just going to pass it along. I have enough contour products. Little Black Book of Bronzers. Oh my gosh. I was so upset when I found out that the formula of these is actually a little bit different than the ones you get in full size. And this is so old. I'm going to get rid of this one. This was the Coastal Scents dupe of that. So you can see it's very similar. This came out, I think, like a year or so after that. I don't know, it looks like it's in so much better shape. I don't know. That doesn't smell weird or anything. All right, I'm gonna try to pass this on, see if anybody wants it. Oh, no way this is going anywhere in my life. This is one of my favorite palettes of all time, Too Faced Chocolate Gold. This was a palette I fell in love with. This was gonna be a favorite and a favorites and fails video, and then Ulta stopped carrying it. Like, they had it for like a month at most, and then they stopped carrying it, and it's fabulous. It's an Ulta Beauty Metallic eyeshadow palette. It was fabulous. But I'm gonna pass it on. This is embarrassing. Okay, the Snow Angels palette, I bought this last winter and I didn't even use it once, I don't think. I didn't even use it once. It seemed like a good idea at the time, but this was one of those impulse buys that I shouldn't have made. This was given to me by Beauty by Pop Sugar. This is just not a fabulous quality palette, and the pans drive me insane, the size of them. It's crazy. Any ABH palettes are absolutely getting kept. Sultry is probably my most used ABH palette. I love this one. Sola Look, oh my gosh, anything by Sola Look is getting kept. I really like their quality a lot. I don't really use a lot of their palettes because their color selection is often very strange, but that being said, I am going to keep them. I really love the branding on it and the nostalgia of the things that they create, so I am going to keep that. Oh, I love this. Why haven't I used this lately? I love this little Natasha Denona palette. I think I got this in Beautylish mystery bag or the lucky bag. Those come out, I think it's the day after Christmas. This is their cranberry palette, and I love this. Well, I really like this palette too by ColourPop. This one is their Double Entendre palette. I know I didn't buy this, but I really like it a lot. I'm going to keep that. Last year's Christmas release from Too Faced, I believe it was last year. I'm losing track of the Gingerbread Spice. Definitely keeping that. You know, the Stilazzi products I'm really not a fan of. These were sent to me in PR and I don't really like them much. I'm going to pass that on. I love this by Milani. This is their Luminoso cheek palette. Oh my gosh, it's fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Definitely keeping that. That was sent in PR. Okay, I haven't used this at all. It looks great. I think I've dipped my finger in that one, and that's it. I meant to use it, and then I just was never drawn to it. I just never did, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Oh my gosh, why haven't I used this? This is so good. This was given to me by a friend as well, Linda Hallberg. Fantastic, fantastic products. I need to use that more. This is the Infinity Deep palette, but man, it works great for me. I really, really like it. I just have to go in with a light hand. And you know what? When I first got this, I loved this palette, but I haven't used it hardly at all. And I feel kind of bad about it. I should pass it on so that someone else can get good use out of it. I used to use this all the time. This is the Kevin Aquan Contour Book Volume 2 Art of Sculpting. This is actually a really great travel palette for just like a really nice natural look. I'm going to keep that. It's kind of old too, so I'm just going to keep that. This was another impulse buy. This came out right before the 10th anniversary collection, and I purchased this on sale right as everything was hitting the fan with Kat Von D. And when I see Divine, I think of John Waters and Baltimore and everything, so I kind of felt like I needed to do my Baltimore duty, I don't know, and buy this. You can see how much I've used it. I remember Nady from Poplux reviewed this and really liked a lot of the shades, so that's why I bought it, but I haven't used it. So I'm actually going to pass that on. Now, Beauty Bakery eyeshadows, I did purchase this. I really don't like them very much. The pigmentation just isn't there compared to other shadows that look like they should be similar, but it's just not there. I think like these two shades are really nice, like they're just don't have the oomph for the pop. Like, I don't know. I'm gonna pass that on. That makes me sad though. Oh, okay, definitely keeping this. I need to use this more. This was given to me by a friend as well. This is by Lunatic Labs, and this is a face palette, and I first thought it was too cool tone. I didn't think I was gonna be able to use it, but then I started getting some good use out of it, and then it just got buried, and I stopped using it. Definitely keeping that. Natasha Denona Lila palette, or I like to call it the Lila palette because that's my daughter's name. It's an okay palette. It's okay. I am going to keep it, mostly because it's the Lila palette. This was gifted to me. I am going to keep it. I think I'll still use it. I don't know. I might use it. I might not use it. But it's good to keep for duping purposes, and also it's the Lila palette, man, and it was gifted to me. That was so nice, and I don't want to get rid of that. I'm keeping that. I bought this last year on an impulse buy. That was my last year that I was rouge, and I bought this, and it's really good. It's great quality. It's their infrared eyeshadow palette. I really love it a lot, but I know I'm not going to reach for it, so I'm going to pass it on. That makes me a little bit sad. I paid a lot of money for that. And then the Too Faced Pretty Mess. This was PR. I mean, I actually really like it though. I'm going to keep it. I actually really like that. I love this palette. This was actually gifted to me, and it was given to me because they got this in their Beautylish Lucky Bag and they already owned it, which was so nice of them to give it to me. That was so kind. And you can see I've really given it a lot of love. For me, a lot of love. I really like this palette. I like this better than the Lila palette. It's a great palette, and the colors are wonderful, and I do still reach for this every once in a while. Of course, I'm going to keep my Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette. This is a palette that I have traveled with so many times, and it's done me good, man. I have to say, it's the only Morphe palette that I use and love, and I still love it. Oh my gosh, Pat McGrath. This is the Mothership. Which one? I don't know. I think this is 3, maybe? I don't know. It doesn't say on the packaging, which is super weird. And this is super weird, this moisture that's collecting there. I'm going to have to keep my eye on that, the moisture that's coming up from these shadows. This is a fun palette to play with. I actually played with this about a week ago, and I still really like it a lot. I'm keeping it. Jeffree Star's Beauty Killer palette. This palette's very hit or miss. This shade Courtney is super, super fab. It's one of my favorite brown shades ever of all time. But there's definitely some misses in here. It's just okay for me. I kind of feel like I should keep it for duping purposes. Let's go ahead and keep that. This was sent to me in PR, the Never Canceled palette. When I swatched it, I wasn't sure about it. But after I used it on my eyes, I actually really liked it a lot. The glitters down here are not good at all. They're absolutely awful. But the other shadows are actually really good, and the names are so cute. I think I am going to pass this along though, because I just don't think that I need it in my life, and I think someone else could enjoy it more than I do. I have like all the Juvia's Place palettes. Oh my gosh, the Jouer Skinny Dip. I also got this in a Beautylish mystery bag. They're so shiny and fun. Let me see. Well, that one didn't. Hold on. Let me see. There we go. So some of them are a little more sheer than others, like this one is definitely a little more sheer. That one's a little more opaque as far as the shine. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Oh, am I actually going to use it? Like, really, Jen, let's be realistic. I'm going to pass it on. Oh my gosh, that breaks my heart. That was a tough one. Okay. Lorac, this is their Shine Bright. This is the cheek palette. The Lorac blushes are so underrated. They're so good. I'm going to keep that. Makeup Geek. Oh my gosh, this was the Pumpkin Spice palette. I forgot I even had this. I love these so much. I'm keeping this. That's not leaving my collection. The Dose of Colors Marvelous Mauves. I've used this quite a bit, and I do really like it a lot, but I do think I'm going to pass it on just because I don't think I'm going to reach for it. I used it a few days ago, and it's good, but I think, I don't know. I'm going to pass it on. All right, Juvia's Place Warrior palette. Oh, I love this one. This was given to me by a friend as well, and I absolutely love this. This is the Desi. This is the I Love Sarah one, and it's really, really good, and I'm definitely keeping that. Oh, the original Naked Basics. Oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Oh, I'm going to pass it on. This one, there's no way I'm parting with this. I remember getting this in BoxyCharm and freaking out because it was just so good. So, so good. I'm definitely keeping this. This is by Blink, and it's their Electric Eyes palette. And I don't think they sell this anymore, but I love this. I'm keeping it. All right, Blue Blood by Jeffree Star, I'm definitely keeping, mostly for duping purposes. I don't find myself reaching for this a whole lot, but every once in a while I find that, I really want a blue, and I know I can come here to get a blue or a greenish blue, so I'm keeping that. Of course, Shane Dawson Conspiracy palette I'm keeping. It's pretty new, and I'm still kind of playing with it. I don't find, like I said in my favorites and fails video, I don't find them using it a whole lot as of now, but I am going to keep it, of course. If you know me, you know this is one of my favorite palettes of all time, just for mostly for sentimental reasons. I did a review of this, and this was the first demo / tutorial that I did on my channel, and I felt like the look came out so good at the time. It's definitely, I feel like I could do better now, but you know, I was just really proud of myself for going out of my comfort zone and using this palette, and I love this, and I love Alice in Wonderland, and it makes me happy, so I'm definitely keeping that. This is the same thing with Book of Shadows. I was really disappointed to find out with Benefit as well that when you get them these in a set, they aren't necessarily exactly the same formula, and I don't ever reach for this, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass that along. Game of Thrones by Urban Decay. I really like this. I'm keeping it. I haven't used it a whole lot since I did the review, but I do really like it. I'm keeping it. This is the Sigma Sculpt palette. I really like the Sigma palettes. Definitely keeping this. Melt Cosmetics Smoke Sessions. Love this palette. This one came broken, but I just pressed it in there. It's very, very smushy formula, so I was able to fix it. But really like this palette. Definitely keeping that. I wore that last week. Tati Beauty Volume 1. I think without saying, I'm definitely keeping this. I love this palette. Lunar Beauty Moonspell. Again, really, really love this palette. I think it's fabulous. It's wonderful quality. I love the colors. Definitely keeping that. I did a full review of this one as well. I've talked about it quite a few times. The Lorax Pirates of the Caribbean Treasure in the Stars palette. This is a fun palette to play with every once in a while. I don't use it all that often, but I really do like it. And it's cute because it's got this little door here. And if you bought the blush palette, then you can put it in there. And this is a great blush palette. So keeping both of these. These were sent to me by Makeup Obsession, and honestly, I haven't used them yet. So the question is, am I just going to pass them on or am I going to try them? I'm going to go ahead and try them. This was the Glam Light paint palette, and I really like Glam Light a lot, and I really like this palette. The yellow came broken, but it's still definitely usable. Really enjoy this for a bright palette. It's fabulous, really fun to play with. Okay, anything ABH, I'm definitely keeping. Master Palette by Mario, this was gifted to me. Really love this. I don't use it a whole lot, but I do really like it. Subculture, of course, I'm going to keep, even though it's very difficult for me to use. Modern Renaissance. Soft Glam, love Soft Glam. I need to use this one more. This one is the Icy Betch palette by Tarte. This one had all that hype surrounding it and everything. I mostly bought this to try to see how many dupes were in with the Jeffree Star Blue Blood palette, and I haven't used it since, so I'm actually going to pass that along. Prism, I really don't like this palette very much, but I'm going to keep it anyway because it's AVH, and I might need to dupe something. But look at how hard pan. Look how it's awful. All right, Rendezvous by ColourPop. This is a great palette. I'm keeping that. This was new from this season from Tarte. This is their, I think it's like a fall feels palette. And I actually really like this. This was, I got in PR and I actually really, really like this. As far as Ofra eyeshadows, I don't really like their formula very much. The only shadow I really liked in here was the center one, which is more similar to their highlight formula. I'm not a big fan of this. I'm gonna pass it along. Of course, Norvina, keeping that. I love Norvina. I love the Jackie Aina palette, totally keeping that. Love Riviera, totally keeping that. Now, these are all Sydney Grace eyeshadows, one of my favorite indie brands for individual shadows. Absolutely fabulous. No way I'm parting with that. Here's the rest of my Sydney Grace collection, keeping those. This is the new Ofra Pro palette, and this is where I went to the launch party for, and I actually really like these shadows better than their past shadow formula. I don't know how much it's changed, but I'm really enjoying this palette. It's still not my favorite eyeshadow formula. The cheek products in here are super fab, though. Really love those. This is Ofra as well. This is their Island Time palette. It's a blush palette. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and pass this along, even though I do really like this a lot because I know I'm not going to reach for it. These were sent to me by a brand called Alter Ego. They do dupe palettes, so they're supposed to look similar to palettes that are already on the market, and they're very, very good quality. They're wonderful. I'm going to keep both of these. This one was the Goddess, and then this is the Sahara palette. For some reason, this was in with my palettes, and I got this the same time I got Blue Blood. This was the lip collection. You can see I took 2 of them out. I don't know what I did with them. I know that they can be used as eyeliner and things like that, but honestly, I'd rather just pass them along to somebody, so these are going to go over here. Oh my goodness, I'm definitely keeping this. This is the Tarte Clay Play. I don't know how that got up there with those palettes. I don't know. This one's something I use all the time. Absolutely love this product. This is the original, not the 2. Sephora Pro palette. Okay, so this blush palette, when I first got it, I really, really used it a lot. I think I am going to keep it just a little bit longer. I haven't had it very long, but you can see there's some hard pan developing a little bit here and there. But I just purchased this, and I think I need to give it more of a chance. I think I need to use it more. Morphe and Jeffree Star palette. I mean, I can tell you I'm probably not going to use this very much. I mostly got it to review. I don't even think I actually did a full review on this. I remember talking about it in favorites and fails, but I don't think I did a full review on it. I think I'll keep it a little longer. It is new, but I have a feeling this will probably get decluttered eventually. I did the Burger Palette Smackdown. This one was the Bomb Burger Palette by Bombshell Cosmetica, and I really didn't like this one very much. It wasn't very burgery, didn't really like it a lot at all. But what I did like was the one from Glamlight. This one is super fab. Quality is wonderful, except for, look at this. Isn't this weird? It's like these shimmery shades are like leaking into the cardboard here, so I would imagine I need to really keep an eye on the shelf life of this. It's like the oils are seeping into the cardboard. It's super weird. So I need to keep an eye on it. But the quality of the shadows actually using them was really good, but this is a little concerning to me. This is the Ofra Francesca Tallot Cheek Palette. It's just too dark for me. I can't really use this. It's at least the bronzer shades. It's just too much for me. I'm going to pass that on. So Jaded, Kathleen Lightspike, and ColourPop. I love this palette. It is so fun. Totally keeping this. Manny MUA Strawberry Dream from his Lunar Beauty line. Love this a lot. Totally keeping that. And then this was sent to me by Tarte, their Young Wild and Cruelty Free palette. I haven't used this a whole lot, but when I did use it, I really enjoyed it. I think I want to give it a little more love before I give it away. I have a feeling this will probably end up getting decluttered, like I had said with other ones, eventually, just because I won't be using it a ton, but I'm not ready to let it go. Couple more products from Laura Lee Los Angeles. This is all of her singles. They're very, very good. I am going to keep these and give these a little bit more love. This was her Party Animal palette. I didn't dig on this one so much. I'm going to pass that one on. Sigma Warm Neutrals Volume 2. It's a pretty good palette, but I know I'm not going to reach for it. I'm going to pass that on. Oh my gosh, Urban Decay Naked 2. Look at that. Look how much love I used to show my palettes back in the day. I can't get rid of this. Even if I was going to get rid of this, I wouldn't pass this on to anybody. I would throw it in the trash, but I'm going to keep it. Of course, Urban Decay Original Naked palette, definitely keeping that too. It's funny how that looks so bland now. This used to be so exciting, and now it's like, meh. Original Too Faced Chocolate Bar palette, keeping that as well. This thing is so old. Now, this is from a brand named Salt New York, and they sell these palettes. And inside, these are her new cream products, and they're good. I'm still trying to figure out how to work with them. I think it might be my fault, so I'm still working on that. I want to make sure if I tell you about the quality of them, I want to give it fair, and I don't feel comfortable, because I think that it's just user error. I need to talk to Kiki about it and make sure I'm using them properly. But these are her cream cheek products in them. I'm still using those and trying to work that out, so I'm keeping those. This is the black version of the Salt New York palette, and inside are some, let's see, what are these? Oh, these are more Sydney Grace eyeshadows. These are super fab, so definitely keeping those. And this was so generously gifted to me by Ofra. This is their Pro palette, and it's got all of these beautiful highlighters in them. And because it's been shoved to the back of my collection, I haven't used it a whole lot, so I'm definitely wanting to reach for that more. So these are ones that are a little bit older. I'm probably gonna be doing a lot more decluttering of these because they're older. So this one is the Urban Decay Naked Smoky palette. Definitely keeping that for duping purposes. Persona Cosmetics palette. I'm gonna keep that for duping purposes as well. I don't ever reach for this, but it is a fantastic palette. It's just, I have so many colors that are like this, but it really is wonderful. I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should keep it for duping because I know a lot of people own this and love this. Meet Matrimony. These balm palettes are really, really good, but I'm going to pass it along. Paula's Choice Skincare. They did come out with a little bit of makeup, and it's very good. I really like it a lot, but I never reach for it. Too Faced Peanut Butter and Jelly. Do you remember when this came out? I'm going to go ahead and pass that along. I think I'm done with this one. Oh my gosh, I could smell it all the way up here. Tarte Lip Palette. This was gifted to me from someone that didn't like it. And I didn't like it either, but I think it's time to let this one go. I think it's time to let it go. Let it go. Let it go. I think I'm going to declutter Nude Dude too. I never use this. Never use it. Nude Beach, I haven't owned for very long. I do really like this. I like the color selection in it. But I know I'm never going to reach for it. I'm going to declutter it. Pastel Goth by Kat Von D. Oh my gosh, I've loved this so much. I'm actually going to keep this, I think, because I don't have a lot of shades that are just like this. And I do really like the palette, and I purchased it, so I'm going to keep that one. This was gifted to me by a friend. This is a brand called Blackbird. I don't even think that they exist anymore. I'm not sure, but they're really good, really, really good shadows. They're really good. But I think there's someone that can use them more. That breaks my heart because they're really, really good. I don't think I'm going to reach for them with all these other choices. Oh, that breaks my heart. Okay, Urban Decay Naked 3. Remember how excited we were over this? I'm going to keep it for duping purposes, but I don't use that. Suva Beauty, oh my gosh, I remember when I bought this. Oh my goodness, look at all this moisture up here. That's so weird. I'm gonna have to like wipe that down. That's really odd. I don't like the idea of that moisture being there. I don't know why or how that happens, but I'm gonna get rid of that because that makes me uncomfortable. I'm gonna keep that because they're overall really good shadows, and I think they're really good for duping purposes. And I know a lot of people love the Suva Beauty shadow, so I'm going to keep that. This is a really good natural palette by Node. I really like this, but I have a million of these. I don't need this. I'm going to pass it along. I'm also going to pass along this one. I got this in a Beautylish mystery bag. This is by Atelier Makeup, and it's wonderful. It's a very good palette, but I'm not going to use it. Definitely keeping my Solo Look Flash Dance palette. No way I'm parting with that. This is a great palette. Too Faced Chocolate Bonbon Palette. I remember being on Periscope live in Sephora, and people that were on live with me were telling me, you know, what to buy, what should I get at Sephora, and this was one thing that they recommended. I'm gonna keep it for duping purposes. Urban Decay Electric Palette. I've had this forever, and I think it's good for duping. It's really, really old, but I'm gonna keep it. Oh, Viseart Golden Hour. This got lost in my collection. I love this palette. It's so good. All right, this one's got moisture on the top too. That's so weird. Let's get rid of that. That's so weird. All right, I'm gonna keep that. Lorac Pro, definitely keeping that. And then more Beauty Bakery. See, I'm trying with Beauty Bakery and I just never like their stuff and it breaks my heart. I'm gonna get rid of that. More Solo Look. This is their Pink Ladies palette from Greece, and they actually thanked me on the back of the packaging and like, oh, I love you all so much. I don't use this a whole lot, but I'm keeping it because it's Solo Look. They're really good quality. I don't reach for them. The color selection is like weird. Like the Dirty Dancing palette, color selection is super weird, like really weird. I'm gonna have to get rid of this lipstick though. This is actually a really good lipstick, but it's old. I have to get rid of that. Wait till I have to declutter my lipstick. It's heartbreaking. It's gonna be so fast because I have to get rid of almost all of my liquid lipsticks. This one unfortunately has to go, but I'm keeping the palette. Aw, Meet Matte Nude. I remember when this came out. I might have to even throw this away because this is really old. This is really old. I think I'm gonna have to throw that one away. Lorac Mega Pro and Mega Pro 3. This was the original launch of the Mega Pro. I was able to buy it off of Amazon due to a tip from one of my subscribers, and I got this at the original launch. And it's a great palette, and I'm keeping all my Mega Pro and my Lorac Pro stuff. This was what the 3 looked like. The packaging is a hot stinking mess. All right, this is a terrible palette. Whenever I want to give an example of really, really bad eyeshadow, I use this palette. It's so powdery and awful. Like what even is that? Like what is that? I don't even know. What is that? This is terrible. I'm getting rid of it. It'll probably end up in the trash. Well, you know what? I'm just gonna throw it away because I don't even want to pass this on to anybody. It's so stinking bad. These are really old. These were the old Wet n Wild palettes. This is the original Comfort Zone palette, but it's really old. I don't feel comfortable using this anymore. This is so old. I'm getting rid of that. This is a limited edition palette called Nude Awakening that was gifted to me. I couldn't find them in my area, and one of my subscribers gifted it to me, and it's a great palette, but it's so old. I have to get rid of it. Another really not great quality eyeshadow palette from NYX. Someone might be able to use this one, though. This one isn't as bad as the other one. Actually, this one's pretty good. This is by L'Oreal. This was their Peach palette. And it's not bad, so I'm gonna see if anybody wants that. Another NYX palette. This is the Los Angeles palette. I don't know. I'm getting rid of that. This is Coastal Scents Hot Pots. I designed this palette. This was my personal design. So if you were gonna get a jenluvsreviews palette back in the day, this was what it would have looked like. It's fine. I'm gonna pass it along. I like my own design. I'm passing along. Summer Breeze. This is actually a really good palette by Coastal Scents, but I know I'm not going to use it. Dream Street by Kathleen Lights ColourPop. It's a really good palette. Do I need it? No. Am I going to keep it? Yeah. Okay, Bad Habit. Anything from Bad Habit I'm going to pass along because this company is no longer in existence, so there's no point in having it anymore because no one can buy it, and you know, there's no point having it. I'm going to get rid of that. Here's more Bad Habit. This was their Arabesque palette. Looks a little like Soft Glam. Inferno. There you go. This is Retro Love.
This was called Royals. These were all set in PR. This is Aura. Very prismy. All right, Emily Edit the Needs palette. I wasn't a huge fan of these, and I think it's just because I don't really like Makeup Revolution eyeshadows. I was really hoping that I would love the Emily products, and I really didn't. And I think that she did a great job designing them. I think she picked out great colors for her, but I just didn't like the quality of them. More Bad Habit. This was their Aphrodite palette. Chrisanna Ann Cosmetics, such a wonderful, wonderful person. Very sweet to send this to me. I'm not a huge fan of the quality of the shadows, so I'm going to go ahead and pass that along. BH Cosmetics Solar Flare, another palette that I really liked at the time. If you're going to buy BH Cosmetics, I feel like their baked formula like this is their strongest formula, but I know I'm not going to reach for it. This was the one, I forget what it was supposed to be called. Was it, oh, You Had Me? I guess it is You Had Me at Hello. I don't know. I remember there was a big thing about peeling this off. I don't know. I don't know what I did. I'm going to pass this along. And this is not good quality makeup right here. CoverGirl True Naked. It's not good. I don't know why I bought that. Okay, DH Cosmetics Wild and Alluring, another pretty good palette. I'm going to go ahead and pass it on. These were the original ColourPop pressed shadow palettes, Weekend Warrior and Low Key. These are both getting passed on, and I bought this for duping purposes. It's awful. I'll see if anybody wants it, but it'll probably end up getting thrown away. Me by Velvet 59. I didn't like the shadows very much, and they weren't happy about me not liking the shadows very much. Well, it's not that I didn't like them. I just had critiques of them, and the brand was not happy about that. So yeah, I never bought anything from them again, and I'm getting rid of that. These Essence palettes are pretty good, but I'm going to pass them along. I don't know how much I used these. This was sent to me by CoverGirl. I'm just going to pass it on. I don't need it. Essence Gray palette. Pretty good. Still going to pass it on. This is another one that got buried in my collection that I haven't used much. This Linda Hallberg products are fabulous. I'm keeping that. Paula's Choice Skincare. This is a great blush palette, but I don't need it. This is old. I love this when it came out. It was part of their mint thing that they tried to do. It was so, so good. I'm going to try to pass it on, though. These e.l.f. palettes, I never reach for. They're just okay. They're fine. For being at the price point they're at, they're very good, but a little difficult to work with, so I don't ever reach for them. This is Need It Nude. This is Nude Rose Gold. And this is... what is this? This is Prism. Oh my goodness. My Kat Von D stuff is coming out. I used to buy so much Kat Von D. I'm not going to use this. I'm passing it on. NYX Contour Palette. That's actually really good, but I don't need it. This is one I'm keeping for nostalgic purposes. I did a full review on this one. I really liked it at the time. I don't know how much I'm going to reach for it, but I do want to keep it. Why am I keeping the Kat Von D for nostalgic purposes? I don't know. Because at the time, it gave me happy emotions. At the time. This was the Glitter Eye palette that she tried to do. I did not like it. This was Kat Von D's first palette release. I don't know, man. I don't know. This was the Spellbinding Eyeshadow book. I don't know. I'm going to keep it. I'm not ready to let it go yet. Not ready yet. This one, though, I'm ready to let go. This, when I first started my channel, actually, this wasn't her first palette release. This was her first, I think, holiday palette release. These were her first palette releases, I believe. This one is the Ludwig palette, and I loved on this. I felt so fancy using this because it was expensive, and it just made me feel so happy, but it is so old. I'm never going to use this. I'm trashing that. This was the 10th anniversary collection, which was my last big purchase from Kat Von D. I haven't used it a whole lot since I bought it. Not quite ready to let it go, but I probably will declutter that eventually. Okay, Urban Decay Vice palettes. You remember these? I don't know which one this is. Is this the original one? I don't think this is the original one. I think I got this one first. What is this one? Yeah, it doesn't say the numbers on any of them, so I can't remember which one's which, but I think this was the last one that I purchased. I'm gonna pass all these along. These things are kind of old. Well, okay, let me see. I'm going to pass these two along, but this one is so old that it's like sticky. Like this, I have a whole video on when I bought this, when I first started my channel, because you push the button and then it opens, and I was so fascinated by that. But this is like sticky. It's gross, like because it's like that rubber, and the rubber is like sticky now. It's nasty.
All right, this is a little Smashbox palette. This is a contour palette. Oh, wow. I haven't seen this in a long time. That actually looks pretty nice. I'm going to see if anybody wants that. The Graveyard Girl Swamp Queen palette. I can't bear to part with this. I know I'm not really going to use it, but I can't part with that. I love that palette. All right, e.l.f. Contour palette. I was wondering what happened to this. I'm keeping that. I was wondering what happened to that. I lost that. It got buried. Okay, a lot more from the balm. I used to collect the balm, not so much anymore. This one's a really good one, but I know I'm not gonna reach for it, so I'm gonna pass it on, the Balm Voyage. This was the 2018 Too Faced Holiday Palette. I used it a little bit for like duping and stuff like that. Haven't really used it, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Kat Von D Interstellar was fun to play with while I had it. I'm not emotionally attached to this one though. Balm Jovi, another one. I love the names on this one. I'm gonna get rid of that one. This Cargo palette is fabulous. I think I got this in a little black bag. Do you remember a little black bag if you ever did that? And it's a really good palette. I don't need this. And it's good, but it's old. Doesn't smell weird. I don't know. I just make sure I tell whoever I passed on to that it's old. Too Faced, the White Chocolate Chip palette, hardly used this at all after I reviewed it. That's a no. This is old from Kat Von D. Doesn't smell, I don't know, it smells a little weird. This was the Ladybird palette. I think I reviewed this one too, like years ago. This one's really old too, this Too Faced Matte Eye. Do you remember these Too Faced palettes? This is really old, that's gonna have to get trashed. Okay, Diva Makeup Queen, she used to have a YouTube channel. She's such a sweetheart. I don't think that she makes beauty videos anymore. She is a professional cellist in New York, and she does a lot of stuff with her cello and all of that now. She doesn't have a makeup line anymore, I don't think. I don't think she's doing anything with this. The quality of these were fantastic. She just used the same packaging, and then she released different collections in the same packaging. These are all really, really wonderful, but I know I'm not gonna reach for them, so I'm gonna try to give them a good home. I Want Candy palette. I can't part with this. I'm keeping that. Nikki Tutorials Power of Makeup. I don't think I can part with this either. I think my review is probably one of the only positive reviews of this palette. I actually really liked it. Well, I'm gonna keep it. And then Balm's Eye from the Balm, I'm gonna declutter that. All right, at the bottom of this drawer, I have my Stila shadows. These were called the Countless Color Pigments, and they were really cool. They had like a tie-dye, and I collected them all. And what I found was it was really difficult to get the same shade across your eye, because if you didn't dip in the exact same spot, then it would be lighter or darker on one eye. But they were so fun. I'm actually gonna pass all of these along. I think I'm ready to part with them. But I got some of them at full price, and then they went on sale, and then they went on more sale, and then they went on more sale until they were like $1 at Nordstrom Rack. So I ended up getting like all of them, but I'm gonna pass them along. I'm ready to let them go. I think this is it. I think this is the end. We finally made it. Yay! If you made it this far, I need you to leave some kind of smiley face in the comments, just to show me you made it, like you were one of the ones. It can be an emoji, it can be like the colon with the parentheses, whatever is easier for you. Leave me a smiley face if you made it this far. All right, like I was saying about the Emily Edit palettes from Makeup Revolution, I absolutely adore Emily. I think she did a fantastic job, but the quality just wasn't there for me as far as the Makeup Revolution end, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass that along. Juvia's Place, of course, I'm keeping. This was the Shade and Light Contour Palette. I'm just gonna pass that along. I have enough contour stuff, I don't need that. This was gifted to me, this Narcissist palette. I haven't used it. It's not in very good shape. I'm just gonna go ahead and ditch that. I don't know how old it is. I'm just gonna get rid of that. That's sad. This was recently gifted to me by Cleona Cosmetics, and I love these so much. I am definitely keeping those. Wanderlust by Perfusion. I was going to keep this because it's pretty good, but it's not great. I'm just gonna pass it on. Oh gosh, another Laura Lee Party Animal palette. I don't know how I ended up with two of those. I think I might have gotten one in BoxyCharm and then one that she sent in PR. I'm gonna pass that one along as well. I actually really liked this Viseart palette compared to the other one that I decluttered. I really like this one. I'm gonna keep this one. This one is called Sultry Muse, and I'm gonna keep that one. In the Balm of Your Hands, this was such a great idea to put some of their most popular products in here, but I don't need it in my life. I'm gonna pass it on. The James Charles Morphe palette, I am not a fan of using this. I don't find joy in using it. I find it difficult to work with, but I'm gonna keep it for duping purposes, but I'm not a fan of this palette. Alamar Cosmetics. This got buried in my collection somehow. I love this palette. I'm totally keeping that. Highlight and Contour by The Balm. Just a really great highlight and contour palette for medium to lighter skin tones. Maybe just lighter, I'm not sure. Really great, but I don't need it. And this was a Tarte Holiday palette that I purchased out of impulse and didn't hardly use. I think this stuff is brand new, but I'm gonna pass it along, even though it was really good. And what a great palette to end on, the Kat Von D Mi Vida Loca palette. This was another holy grail Kat Von D release that everybody wanted, and it really was fun to play with. I'm gonna keep it for nostalgic purposes. I don't know why I'm doing that, but because at the time it felt good. It's because at the time it meant a lot to me to have this, so I am gonna keep it just a little longer. It'll probably end up getting thrown away eventually. All right, so final. These are the palettes that are either too old or too poor quality to pass along. We've got 12 of those out of my collection. All right, so these are the ones that are being given away, given good homes. There are 108 palettes here that I am decluttering out of my collection. That is a lot. That is an awful lot. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here are 57 palettes that I'm keeping. I actually boxed up 75 of them for my own personal sanity, but these are the last 56 that I decided to keep. Here are the final numbers. So I started off with 251 palettes. I decluttered 108 of them. I threw away 12 of them, which leaves my collection at 131 palettes still. But as you saw, I am keeping some of them for kind of like emotional reasons, not because I'm actually going to use them. I'd rather keep something that brings me joy or brings me nostalgia, at least for a little while longer. There's no reason to get rid of it until I'm ready, but I'm really proud of myself. And thank you for joining me, and I hope that you loved it. And if you did, don't forget to subscribe, because I have more decluttering videos coming very, very soon of the rest of my collection. It's a lot, and if you are as attached to your makeup as I am, it can be, relatively emotional, and thinking about how much I used, how much I didn't use. I'm definitely going to be making smarter purchasing decisions in the future, because I do feel like over the past few years I've purchased way too much makeup that I didn't end up using as much as I thought I would. And as always, if you have any thoughts about what I decluttered and what I kept, definitely leave that in the comment section below. If you're not already subscribed, please subscribe before you go. I'm gonna put my sweaty face under here. Hi, mad love to you. Thanks so much for watching. If you wanna hang out a little bit longer, YouTube should be recommending a video somewhere that I've lost my bearings. I have no idea where it is right now, but you see it. You can hang out a little bit longer. But if it's time for you to go, thanks so much for hanging out as long as you did. Mad love to you, and my neck is hurting. I will see you in a video very, very soon.